Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like our next tropical cyclone, Nana, will be developing over the central Maine development region around the end of August. Models show that this storm will track towards the U.S. eastern seaboard in early September, with another on its heels. Peak hurricane season is upon us. This information brought to us by Michael J. Ventrese. And as I suggested, I think we could get about 2 hurricanes headed our way, not guaranteeing a landfall, about every 10 to 12 days. So everybody be ready, because the next 60 to 70 days are going to be insane on every level as 2020 gets 2020er. And personally, this is the best energy I've felt in over 3 weeks, as August has definitely been one big fight. And that is great news, because I am your planetary defense commander, doing what I can to keep everybody, Republicans or Democrats, and safe. All right? Sometimes even from y'all's own stupidity. Plague is real, hurricanes are real, and the division in the America is real. Let's get going. Dada Boo, the Florida Wave Master, is saying, places, everyone, places. 72 hours until curtain call. That is, unless you are one of the beautiful, special, and magical people in Puerto Rico, because your action adventure will start a whole lot sooner than that. Brady, part of the awesome Asteroid Fight Club team, bringing us the banding outflow. Features are starting to show up more, indicating that strengthening of Laura. It is a really healthy-looking storm right now. I think he meant really. Or who knows, he's getting into reality sales? That joke was bad. But my sense of humor is starting to return. That is great news. And if you are just joining us, we've been tracking the situation for over 7 weeks and preparing for a very dangerous situation after August 20th, but a super duper extra dangerous situation after the 24th due to the Pluto-Saturn-Mars square. And if you don't know what that is, well then just trust me, because my track record is fantastic. We are tracking Marco and Laura. Marco on the left. Like, let's imagine these as testicles. Marco is the left testicle, and Laura is the right testicle. Okay, that's not a good example, but I'm just trying to say this is a very dangerous situation. So if you are in any of the Caribbean islands, the Keys, any part of Florida, especially the southern tip, and then the entire Gulf of Mexico, you need to be prepared for not only one major hurricane, but possibly 2 major hurricanes between now and when the Republican National Convention ends. And this is Asteroid Fight Club, so be prepared to get information you may not be able to handle. And, it's just best to be prepared for the worst, which would be 2 major landfalling hurricanes within the next 5 days, hitting the U.S. of A., possibly one hitting Florida and then moving on to hit the Gulf, because the Gulf water is hot. One of these storms, at least, is going to take off. And, like any type of relationship, the male or the female can steal the energy from the other, making one much stronger and the other much weaker. So, or they could just both be really strong, which would make them a hurricane power couple. So be prepared to get your ass kicked by a hurricane power couple. That's what I'm trying to say. And if nothing happens over the next 5 days, then just thank Jesus or whoever and whatever you believe in. All right? All right, great. And it's still taking me a little bit of time to recalibrate my senses. All right. So there's definitely a lot of Gulf happening in the water. Or reverse that. There's definitely a lot of water happening in the Gulf, which can be rain. So if this one tightens up or this stuff tightens up, that'll cause big problems. And either way, there's going to be a lot of rain headed our way. And I say our because I'm in Houston. So here we're talking at and looking at the actual precipitable moisture, which is water that is willing to participate in the storm at any given time. And as you can see, there's quite a bit. And so these move in pulses, but here are our 2 pulse areas that we're tracking. And both of them have the possibility of rapid intensification once they get past their obstacles. For Marco, it would be the Yucatan Islands and Cuba. And for Laura, it would be Puerto Rico and the Caribbean Islands. So and that once they get past their 2 points, they definitely have the chance of becoming strong hurricanes. Now, there's going to be a lack of shear here. There's going to be a lot of hot water, and I think they're going to get past their dry air inhibitors. And so the more land interaction that happens here, the less Laura will develop. But right now, it looks like Marco might be shooting the gap, which is dangerous for us in the Gulf, especially in the Houston area. Now, this 1 week of rain, based on the forecast, is just a best guess. And so, but either way, definitely expect this to get a lot redder, and possibly even yellower. And yellow would mean a lot of rain. But either way, there's a ton of rain coming into the Gulf in less than 100 hours. Luckily for Puerto Rico, Laura has not started to form in any major way, although she is now they're both tropical storms. So the next step after tropical storm is hurricane. But for Puerto Rico, for now, the good news is you guys will just get a lot of rain, but it will be a dangerous amount of rain. I would say anywhere from 6 to 12 inches. But it probably won't really start to develop until after it gets north and clears the islands. Kind of the same with Marco, though Marco looks a little bit better at organizing, in my opinion. And I want to remind you that both Hannah and his ES look like totally hot messes and then totally got their shit together right before they made landfall in Texas and in North Carolina. So that could happen on a level where it happens sooner than right before landfall. So we could get our first major rapidly intensifying hurricanes. Have I mentioned that? But nothing like, or you could just get 2 crappy storms if we get super lucky. But how many times have we gotten super lucky in 2020? It hasn't been a lot, I don't think. And I tend to hyper-focus on hurricanes when they come around. So, but remember, like, the West Coast is having some of the worst fires it's ever had. We've got volcanoes that have been popping off in Guatemala and Mexico nonstop since 2019. Europe's getting heavy weather. China's going under some of the worst floods it's had in a while. India, the same. So 2020 is only going to keep getting 2020-er. And I still think we have a big earthquake or even volcano eruption on the table. One that would make you go WTF, OMG, yo. And then here would be Nana. But my Nana and Papa were super great. God rest their soul and take good care of them in heaven. So hopefully Nana won't hurt us all. She'll just give us a cookie and that wonderful Nana smile. And at this point, we can start to look away from the models and just the storm itself. But for now, we can still look to the models for any type of guidance they may give us. Euro Chaser JS, Euro now on board with Laura. That's why whoop, whoop, zip, zip, deep, and other model runs have been on board with rapid intensification. The Euro is showing 2 spots of trouble in the Gulf in the next 4 days. So that's WTF, get ready. The ICANN is sort of like, yeah, forget about it. Take the cannoli. Leave the depression. The NavGem is like, hey, I'm just a tropical storm, but I'm going into Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. The NavGem is like, hey, I'm going to the same spot, but I'm going to be a little stronger. And the GFS Para is like, I want to party with Louisiana and Texas as a Category 2, Category 3 hurricane. And as a Texan, I'm like, yeah, I don't really like that option. And the GFS is like, I'm coming to your city as Category 2 hurricane. And I'm like, no. I better get my act together so I can kick your ass, send you away, or at least put you into tatters. And I'm showing these magic Venus boobs for good luck because we're going to need it. This is a weather DAC breakdown of pretty much the overall red alert, super red alert, why you should be prepared for just about anything, especially if you're along the coast, because here at Astrophycla, we have been on super high red alert for a while, and these were fires in Australia that started the year. These are the fires that are happening in California, and then here are the fires that have been happening almost all year in Siberia, although technically they started up, I guess, around March. But yeah, if you'll notice, they all start almost exactly together on one shelf line, almost like it was a magma process that was coming from the Earth itself. Yeah. So, ding dang. But definitely be prepared for major changes in the where it could go and how intense it could be. And I will do what I can to bring you guys the best information, as I have done for like 7 years, or definitely through 2020, or definitely in the last 7 weeks. All right, and it's going to be a long hurricane season. So God bless you. Stay cool. May you have a great day, and stay sane with your sense of humor through all the madness that it's going to be crazy and like major through March of 2021. I can guarantee you. All right, so please be prepared, because we're going to party in 2022 as we kick in the roaring 20s and the best decade of our lives. All right, stay cool. God bless everyone. And I love you. Thank you, Magic Boobs of Venus.